Hello and blessings, beautiful witches, and welcome to another Coven chat. Now, I wanted to elaborate a bit on the Coven Basics video that I have recently released, and just to go over a few little points in further detail, just to help you to understand why it is that I say the things that I do and suggest the things that I do. And perhaps the more understanding that you have around these things will enable you to better integrate them into your life and to also diversify where you see fit as well, which is all very, very important. So, we spoke in that video about metaphysical maintenance and preparation of your home, your body, your mind, your spirit. And that is where I would like to begin here, because it is a build up on that. And so when it comes to metaphysical maintenance, there is a practical aspect to metaphysical maintenance, and there is also a metaphysical aspect. And so when I am looking to prepare my home, for instance, for ritual, there is that practical aspect of arranging everything and tidying up and dusting and cleaning the floors and doing all those sorts of things, but then I add a magical element to them. So I used to work with a steam cleaner quite a bit because I'm a bit of a germaphobe, but I would put essential oils and some herbs in my steam cleaner to better create an ambiance that I was wanting to work within. And oftentimes that ambiance correlated to the reasons behind my ritual, or the aims or the intentions that I was seeking to connect with and release during ritual. So when washing the floors, it was very typical for me to use lemongrass, which I had available in my garden, but I was also washing the floors. I was actively cleaning the floors, and then I was adding that magical element. And then once I had completed all my dusting and all my, usual tidy up, folding the laundry, making everything look spick and span as though you were expecting a very, very special guest, because that is what you are within your home. A very, very special guest. You are a magical guest. You are the witch of your household, and as such your home should reflect that type of energy for yourself. Like, you are the most important person in that household for many, many reasons, and that is because you are the one that is there to create the ambiance with intention and with purpose, to make sure that you have all your wards up so that you don't suffer the same types of ills as other people. You have witches' bottles buried in the front yard. You have talismans dangling in different places. You're metaphysically preparing the space, and that's not just something that you do for yourself. It's something that you do for your family, for the pets, for your neighborhood as well, because when a witch creates that sense of sacred space out of her home, not with her home, but out of her home is a sacred space, then that benefits the neighborhood as a whole. You're putting that beacon of incredible and positive and creative and constructive and also deadly type of energy out into the world. And it is something that you can actively feel whether you are conscious of it or not. Sometimes when you're walking past a really spooky place, or where somebody you're walking past an area that gives you the heebie-jeebies, there's no reason for it, but it gives you like this funny feeling. Well, in the same way as you get that natural feeling, your witch's home should trigger that in other people, only it's not a feeling of trepidation necessarily, it's just a feeling of awe and beauty. It's when a person wanders up to your boundary or into your neighborhood close to your home, and they feel a sense of reverence and this necessity to pay respect. And that's a really positive type of energy to trigger in a person, and your metaphysical maintenance of your home and the way that you approach your metaphysical maintenance of your home particularly is what will achieve that. So placing special emphasis on home and hearth. Also, when you are a practicing witch, your home is the place in which you will create most of your magic. Yes, you will go outside and you will cast many, many spells, and you will participate in many, many rituals outside of your home and in different places in nature, but the greater formulation of your magic will take place at home. Sometimes it will take place in the bedroom while you dream. Sometimes it'll take place when you are doing a mundane task and your mind is in a magical mind frame, and it will be thinking up things that you can do. And so it's a really powerful place for a witch, the home, the hearth, and making sure that you are practicing all those really lovely hearth magical practices is wonderful. Now, if you're not familiar with hearth magic of any kind. It's home magic, and it is part of that metaphysical maintenance. And part of that is creating that sense of clean. And that sense of clean is something that is ultra important because it also brings that hygienic energy into your space. But clean is more than just hygienic. Clean means clear, unencumbered, and you want a home that is clean, clear, and unencumbered. When you walk into the threshold of your space and you have been out and amongst the world and doing all manner of things, interacting with all manner of people in all manner of states of mind and emotional circumstances, when you come home, your home should be a haven. And a witch's home needs to be restorative. It needs to be clean. It needs to be clear. It cannot have bias energy, because if it has bias energy, or it has that yucky, negative type of energy, exhausted energy, emotional energy, whatever, if it has that, that will automatically filter into whatever it is that you make, cook. It'll filter into your dreams while you sleep. So having a space that is locked down is really important, which is why practicing witches of various degrees understand the importance of home and hearth magic, metaphysical maintenance every month with the lunar cycle. Cleansing as the moon wanes, for instance, making sure that you're mopping, sweeping, cleaning, changing sheets and towels and things like that. But also wiping down countertops with anointed cloths and spritzing the air with like smudge or cleansing sprays, and making sure that you have salt or Solomon seal or tourmaline in the four corners of your home, a witch bottle in the front yard. We will go into witch bottles at a later date, because for those who are not familiar with witch bottles, they can be complex types of creations, and they do make up apothropaic magic techniques, and there are right and wrong ways of doing witch bottles, believe it or not, and some may disagree with me, but at the end of the day there is a little something to it, and skill and a little understanding will put you well on your way to creating a really kick-ass witch bottle that you can make at home and do. But that will be something for much later. So what I would recommend to you for metaphysical maintenance of the home particularly is your practical cleaning aspects, your decluttering aspects. Decluttering is great for just creating space in your home. But once you've done all that practical stuff, I would like for you to come in and then start to really create a sense of sacred within your space. Now, I would be smudging or smoke cleansing with particular herbs such as sage or Palo Santo. Palo Santo is my favorite, but I would also make a mix of things like frankincense and myrrh. I would put some lavender in there. I would put some rosemary in there, and that is because these types of herbs are foundational herbs. Lavender can be used for money, it can be used for health, it can be used for happiness, it can be used for prosperity, it can be used as a sedative for sleep aids, you can make dream pillows out of them. So you want these multi-purpose types of botanicals to, you know, at your disposal, so that you can reach for them to do any manner of type of work, really. And so rosemary is protective. It's great for longevity. If you put rosemary in its herb form, distilled or oiled form, you might be able to put that in your shampoo and it can help you with dandruff. But most importantly, it is one of those herbs that is deeply protective, and it also triggers a good memory, and on and on and on. So you want to choose like frankincense, which creates a sense of sacred and spiritual. Same with Palo Santo. Palo Santo, and that's how you pronounce it, Palo Santo. It is holy wood. It is said that if you smoke cleanse your space with Palo Santo, that it creates a sense of immediate sacred. But Palo Santo is not something that you would begin with, it is something that you would end with. So once you have zhuzhed your space, and once you have smoke cleansed your space or prepared it metaphysically with smudging sprays or oils or botanicals placed in corners, amulets, talismans, things of that nature, then you would finish it off with Palo Santo and put in that sense of sacred, embed that sense of sacred, or fortify the work that you have done to that space. And then when it comes to you, when it comes to yourself, meditation, making sure that you're constantly grounded and centered, particularly before you're practicing any kind of magic, particularly before you practice any kind of home and hearth magic or metaphysical maintenance. Grounding, centering puts you in a state of alignment with cosmic, spiritual, deity or spirit forces. And it's also very, very good for your peace of mind. It helps you feel strong and grounded. Now, with your body as well, it's important to treat it with respect, to treat your body like a temple. This doesn't mean you can't indulge in a little chocolate or a little bit of wine or a little fast food, but always making sure that you're putting vital nutrients in your body so that it is running at its optimum. And, you know, we all have these issues with our health and our well-being, and staying on top of that is part of that metaphysical maintenance. It's not something that you do just once and then forget about it. It's something that you do all of the time. Now, for me personally, prior to rituals, especially if I'm getting in there with coven work and doing ritual, then I make sure that I fast. And that's something that I myself choose to do to make sure that I'm aligned. But before I fast, I spend days getting the nutrients that my body needs in order to be able to sustain a fast for any particular level of time. I may fast for 24 hours, I may fast for only 12 hours, but I tend to fast prior to ritual so that I can really, really align my focus in ritual space. I want to be up in my chakras, not down. So, but that's a choice that I make, and we can talk about fasting and preparation of the body in more detail at a later date. But for you to understand, this is my puppy in the background, for you to understand, it's really important to make sure that you feel healthy. Don't try to achieve the sense of healthy that others make you feel like you need to achieve. It's about how you feel. You want to feel unencumbered. You want to feel light. You want to feel energized. And a lot of what happens with magical practitioners is that they fall into these spiritual slumps and they feel too lazy to do ritual. And let's face it, we've all felt a bit lazy to do ritual. The full moon comes and goes and we're still in our pajamas. I've been there, I know it. But a lot of that is because I feel lazy, and that's because I'm not pumping the nutrients in my body, giving myself all of that good, yummy nutrient energy that's going to help me to become motivated and excited about things, because most of the time I'm meh. Well, that's not true. I'm not meh most of the time. I'm pretty motivated, but I get it. I get it when we have these, oh, puppy, it's all right. When we go through these phases where we're feeling a little bit low, don't force against it, but just understand what can you be doing for yourself, and that is treating your body with the utmost respect. And that means spoiling your body every once in a while as well. And then as far as your spiritual self, your metaphysical self, meditation is beautiful. Working with mala and mantra energy is beautiful. Working with mudras are really, really great. But understanding the sacred practice of grounding, centering, and meditation, even if it's just very short meditations, even if it's a 5-breath meditation or a 5-breath activation, it's something that you can practice every single day and then extend as you go. If you started with a 5-breath meditation technique, then stretch it out to a 10-breath meditation technique. Then stretch it out to a guided meditation, for instance, and something that you can work on a daily basis. This is really great for your mind, to make sure that your mind is at peace. And when your mind is at peace, the rest of your life is also at peace, believe it or not. But these are just some basics of metaphysical maintenance that I wanted to mention to you. They are, yes, common sense. But if I can give you a couple of tips, particularly for your home, then I would say that once you have done your cleansing, placing your crystals, placing some salt, placing some Solomon seal, creating yourself a really nice sigil. Now, if you don't understand sigils and what sigil magic is, then work with symbolism for the moment. A symbol that has a great deal of protective quality to you, and for some that might be an equal arm cross, for others it might be a love heart, for others it might be another symbol entirely, the pentagram, the triple moon to represent the energy of the goddess holding space. Whatever it is that you come up with, I would highly recommend creating that sigil or drawing that symbolism, anointing it with the oil that you believe resonates with that, and taking that moment to place your power hand over the top of it it, really set your intentions, like push your intention into that paper, then burn it. And with the ashes of that, you want to sprinkle that on your threshold, front and back doors, a little bit on your windowsills, just to hold space. This is something that you can do every month if you want to, or just at the rotation of every Witches' Sabbath. So we have 8 Witches' Sabbaths. You can do this 8 times throughout the year, and each time that you do this, you're inviting some of the magic of that Sabbath into your home in that sigil-esque type of a way. As for your body, then placing oils and herbs in your body care products, choosing your soaps with care and attention. I myself like to use the most natural of everything, and I practice zero waste, so I try to be very natural about everything that I can, and I aim for that. That's my primary aim. But not everyone is the same, but try to keep that, you know, in your mind somehow, that you can add things to your facial care regime, that your shampoos, your conditioners, your body washes, soaps, and so on. And you can spritz yourself with some really great smudging or cleansing sprays as well, and have a really great time anointing your body, and also stretching that out a little bit to sacred adornments, wearing sacred adornments to help to fortify your auric field. These are things that you can do for yourself, and they're really, really positive things that you can do for yourself. So that is a little bit on metaphysical maintenance, and hopefully that helps you to determine how it is that you're going to approach your own personal metaphysical maintenance of your home, of your body, of your mind and soul, and all of that good yummy stuff. But that is where it begins. That's the foundation. Your home, these are the foundations of your magic. So these are the things that need to be in absolutely perfect working order. Now, it's hard and it's a constant process, but that's what it's all about. Is the work. It's doing the work. Going for a walk. If you feel like your body is really encumbered at the moment, mine is, for instance, then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the work. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go and do some exercise. I'm going to go do some yoga. I'm just going to get out there and see what I can do for myself, and make sure that I'm, you know, really embracing the health and vitality that my body needs, and giving my body a bit of a extra love and attention. And that's exactly what I'm doing at this very moment in time, particularly because I've had so many colds and flus since I've moved down here to Tasmania, from tropics to temperate climate, right in the middle of winter. I've been hit a little bit hard, so my immunity needs a boost. I know this, and if I don't give my immunity that boost that it needs, then I'm not going to be running at an optimal health level. So this is something that I myself am focusing on at this moment in time, and many of you may be in the same situation. So be kind, be gentle, but do the work. Be prepared to do the work, because it is sacred work and it is part of your witch's magic. Much love, many blessings. Mwah!